creates a safety hazard and disrupts school activities.
Would you say that the event that took place in Cinco de Mayo 2010 at Live Oak High School caused a disruption?
Yes, I would.
Okay, and what is the demographic of the school?
Largely minority. It's about 25-26% white and a larger percent.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's all.
Okay.
No further questions?
No further questions.
Plaintiff side, do you wish to cross-examine?
Yes, I do.
You may begin.
All right, have there been any other examples of supposed racial tensions between students at Live Oak High School?
There have been, but none ever really reach large
Have there been any
physical
major,
disputes.
have there been any people that have been arrested and or suspended for that sort of thing?
There are none.
Do they involve the American flag?
Other than the Cinco de Mayo one last year and this year, none.
Do you go to Oakville High School or have any correlation to the high school or the school district itself?
I am the assistant principal of the high school.
All right. All right. Do you feel like you created some unintended consequences by banning a First Amendment right issue of banning the American flag and therefore forfeiting their chance to speak their minds?
No, I did not. I feel like it was in the safety of the students, and I feel like it was totally qualified.
Are you okay with collective punishment among all students who supposedly do this sort of thing?
If it is intended to create some sort of
Just answer the question. Tony.
if it is intended to cause some sort of uproar, then yes.
All right. Thank you.
If no other questions, you may be seated. Second witness. Who are we calling to the stand? All right, could you face the jury, please? Raise your right hand, place your left on the business level. Could you state your name? Okay, and do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you very much. Have a seat.
Okay, snitch.
Keep on task, please.
Why did you tell Principal Rodriguez about the uproar you saw occurring in the quad?
So I was concerned for everybody's safety because last year the same thing happened and you could tell the tension was rising.
Were you personally afraid yourself?
I was very afraid.
Further questions?
Decide, do you wish to cross-examine?
All right. Did the same thing happen last year as did this year's events?
Yes.
Regarding race?
Yes.
Was anyone suspended and or removed from property?
No.
Have there been also other race relation problems besides just this one?
No.
Have there been any other Mexican Americans who feel like that this was unjust for suspending the kids wearing the American flag? What is your correlation to the Live Oak High School and
I'm a student.
Were there supposedly death threats made about surrounding this situation?
Yes, there has.
And who made those threats?
A student.
Oh, what student?
I'm not sure, but there was a student.
I'll just answer my question.
They're minors, they remain unnamed.
Well, can you related to the initials?
SC.
Alright.
Objection.
Sustained.
Oh.
You must change your line of questioning. We can't talk about minors or name them in open court.
Alright. That's all I got.
You may be seated. Alright, witness number 3 for the defense and your final witness. Alright, please face the jury. Raise your right hand, place your left hand on the business law book. Could you state your name, please?
Aaron Brewer.
Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Alright, you may be seated.
Mr. Brewer, how long have you worked at the school district?
5 years.
Okay, have you seen fights at the school district?
Yes.
Who are these fights between primarily?
White kids and Mexican kids.
Do you know exactly what they were fighting about? Was it like anything that had to do with shouting USA or things like that?
During the 2009 incident, yes. The white kids were screaming USA in Mexican kids' faces, and that sparked up.
Thank you, that is all.
Cross-examination?
Is it true that you have witnessed all types of racial, race, problems in the school?
I've seen them, yes.
You have been able, have you taken part in such actions as to supposedly stop them?
No, I have mentioned it to school officials, but otherwise, no.
Have school officials put out any other penalties that would seem to stop this sort of thing?
No.
Was all codes of conduct followed in order to ensure this?
They have done their best to keep the kids safe, yes.
Do you have any background in criminal law degree or anything regarding this sort of situation?
Objection. His education does not apply in this. It goes to the credibility of a witness, which makes it relevant for this case. Yeah. But why is it?
I'll let it play out, but you're on thin ice. So you may continue with your line of questioning.
Alrighty.
Have you had any other educational experience besides Live Oak High School and the Morgan Hill United School District?
No.
Thank you.
Alright. Thank you very much. You may be seated. Alright, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we are going to move on to the closing statements. The plaintiff's side will give a closing statement, and then the defendant's side will give a closing statement, and then after that, you will deliberate and see if we can reach a verdict. So we'll take a short 1-minute recess so both legal sides can get everything ready for their closing statements. All right, both legal teams, we have 30 seconds for closing statements. While we are waiting, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, to thank you for your time today. This has been a great help. You are true Panthers. All right, plaintiff side, you may begin.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. As Americans, we are entitled to certain rights. One of these is the First Amendment, the freedom of speech. In the case of Tinker versus the Des Moines Independent Community School District, the Supreme Court ruled 7-2, the public school officials cannot censor student expression unless they have a reasonable forecast that the student expression would cause substantial disruption with the school activities or would invade the rights of others. What was absent on May 5th, 2010 was a reasonable forecast of the student expression that would cause substantial disruption or material interference with school activities that would invade the rights of others. This is an open and closed case. Today we provide you with 3 witnesses. First, we introduced MD, a student who had his First Amendment rights stripped after he tried to show his patriotism for his own country. Next, we heard from Cole Murray, a Latin American student who gave us his perspective on what happened that day. Cole told us about how there was no conflict between Latin American students and white students. If anything, the only conflict that day was between the school administration and the U.S. Constitution. We also heard from Rhonda, a school police officer. She gave us her credible opinion on how race relations at the school had never really been that bad. The defense, on the other hand, had a few mix-ups. Today we're here to talk about Live Oak High School. The defense, on the other hand, would like to bring up that they had people and employees from Oak Hill High School, a completely different high school that has nothing to do with the case today. In fact, the first 2 witnesses didn't even establish that they were students at the school district, so their credibility can be questioned. And in addition, the last witness had no professional background in disciplining students and had no idea what the relationship would be like within the school, as he had no experience directly involved with students. We are here today to protect the First Amendment, not just for students who would like to express their love for their country, but for all Americans. The defense was unable to prove that there was a chance of substantial disruption or material interference with school activities that would invade the rights of others, and therefore, the school is guilty of violating the students' First Amendment rights. Thank you.
Defense, your closing statement.
Thank you. All right. To the people of the jury, first of all, our first witness was the principal of Live Oak High School during that time. Therefore, your act is incredible. And also, there is a precedent set by Roth versus the United States, which says a banning that allows schools to ban obscene shirts and clothing at schools. Therefore, at Live Oak High School, they were allowed to send those kids home. Also, the school was drastically split by a 57% Hispanic population in the school to a 27% white population at the school. Also, if the whites would have caused a disruption that day, say there would have been a fight, there would have been about a 6-3 odds that the Hispanics would have beat the whites because there's more kids. Also, the year before, Hispanics got mad at a group of white people just because they hung a flag, not because they were walking around with shirts on, chanting stuff about USA. So the school district sent them home in order for safety, and even after that, when they got sent home, they still received death threats the day after. And if they would have been there for any longer, who says that those kids who sent the death threats might not have showed up at that school and possibly done things that aren't really allowed to say? Also, in the student handbook, it prohibits bandanas, which were being worn on that day, and also clothes that indicates gang affiliation or creates a safety hazard or disrupts school activities. And obviously, it disrupted school activities because the school had to send those kids home. Also, other kids were scared for themselves just because a group of people were trying to mix things up with other people. Thank you.
All right, we have reached the conclusion. What I would like to do now is, can I have both legal teams, witnesses, anybody else affiliated with the business law class, please step into